Hi, I'm Steve Adams, and I've got 7 books for people that love the TV show Dexter. In all 7 books, the main character is either a sociopath or he's a psychopath. In all 7 books, I've ranked how dangerous the killer is. We go from bad to worse, as in dangerous to really dangerous. Our first book is I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells, and it's the first book in a series of 6.
Everyone fears the darkness. I've learned to walk with it, talk to it, call it by name. I'm 15 years old. My name is John Wayne Cleaver, named after the actor, not the infamous serial killer, John Wayne Gacy. But sometimes, I wonder if the name fits a little too well, given how my mind works, and that my last name is also the name of a weapon a killer might use. It's like fate was guiding my parents in naming me. I've spent years avoiding the path that feels carved into my bones. I made rules, my own commandments. I follow them like my life depends on it, but it's the life of others I'm worried about if I don't. My rules. Some are things I want to do, but no, I shouldn't. Number 1, no stalking. I don't follow people around or fixate on them. Obsession leads to dangerous thoughts, and I can't afford to let my mind go there. 2, no harming animals. Hurting animals is a known early warning sign of being a serial killer. I avoid it completely to keep myself in check. 3, no setting fires. Arson is another warning sign. I steer clear of matches and lighters. Sometimes this is a hard rule to follow. Whenever I see a lighter in a store, I have to fight the urge to put it in my pocket. Number 4, the hardest one to follow. No fantasies about killing. I don't allow myself to daydream or imagine scenarios where I harm others. Entertaining such thoughts is a slippery slope. 5, maintain social connections. I make an effort to interact with others, like sitting with Max at lunch even though he bores me to death like most people do. It helps me practice normalcy and keeps me grounded. Number 6, avoid triggers. I stay away from situations or materials that might provoke violent thoughts or feelings. And finally, number 7, remind myself, I am not a serial killer. I repeat this mantra to reinforce my identity, separate from the darkness I fear inside me. These rules are my safeguard, a personal code to ensure I don't become the monster I fear I could be.
I will say this. I've read the first book, but not all 6. This book takes a sharp left turn at a point. A huge twist happens. It takes everything you thought you knew about the book, and you might love it or you might hate it. I still recommend the book. Trust No One by Paul Cleave.
I've forgotten many things, but not how blood feels on my hands. I'm Jerry Gray, but you probably know me as Henry Cutter. That's the name printed on the covers of 12 bestsellers, thrillers that turned murder into entertainment and made monsters out of men. For over a decade, I wrote about twisted minds, broken justice, and killers who walked free. Now I'm 49, and Alzheimer's is eating my brain like rot in the walls of an old house. My words are slipping. My memories are dissolving. I don't know what's real and what's fiction anymore. But here's what I do know. I've started saying things, terrible things, that my books weren't made up, that the killings were real, that I'm the one who did them. They shake their heads at the care home. The staff, they say it's just the disease, just confusion, just symptoms. But then how do you explain the blood? I woke up with it on my hands, in my bed. No memory of what I did the night before. If it's all just in my head, then why are people still dying exactly the way I wrote about them?
What if that's really happened before? A writer gets dementia or Alzheimer's and isn't sure what the books he's written was real or not, or if that's something he lived through. I wonder if any in history has ever felt tremendous guilt because they think they've killed people, but they really haven't. They just think they have. You check out the rest of my channel, you'll see I write these kind of stories, and I was just thinking, what if I got dementia one day and thought I'd actually killed somebody? God Worth Killing For by Peter Swanson.
People assume killers look dangerous, and that's why I always get away with it. People think I'm quiet, polite, harmless. That's always their first mistake. I'm Lily Kintner, and I don't believe in letting bad people get away with what they've done. I met Ted Severson on a late-night flight from London to Boston. We were strangers trading secrets over gin and too much honesty. He told me his wife, Miranda, was cheating on him with their contractor, Brad Daggett. Then he said something most people would only think, never say out loud, that maybe the world would be better without her. I didn't blink. I didn't laugh it off. I offered to help. He thought he was the one with the dark secret.
So it's kind of like Strangers on a Train. That's really what drew me to this book, that comparison.
But I've been carrying mine for years. Long before that flight, long before Ted. I know how to make people disappear. I know how to wait, how to plan, how to make it look like someone simply vanished. In Boston, things got messy fast. Emotions got in the way. Ted wasn't built for this, not like I am. He thought it was about love, betrayal, revenge. For me, it was about balance, about fixing things that never should have been broken in the first place. But nothing stays buried forever. And when Detective Henry Kimball started asking questions, I could feel the walls closing in. He's methodical, relentless, and he doesn't scare easily. Secrets are surfacing, blood has already been spilled, and now the plan is coming apart at the seams. Ted and I started something on that plane, but only one of us is going to make it out the other side.
Number 4 is Blood Sugar by Rotha. Keep getting that name right. Sasha Rothschild. Not exactly a tongue twister, but
People assume killers live on the edge of society, alone and unlikable. But I'm Ruby Simon, therapist, animal rescuer, loyal friend, devoted wife, and I've killed 3 people. Now I'm sitting in a Miami Beach interrogation room facing detectives who think they've solved a juicy headline. Wife snaps and kills husband. They're wrong. Jason's dead, but that one's not on me. Not this time. The world doesn't care about nuance. It wants villains, it wants scandal. And the media? They've branded me a cold-blooded murderer. But I know exactly who I am. I'm guilty of plenty, but not the crime they've pinned on me. With every question, memories rise. Pieces of my past I'd rather forget. Faces I've buried deep. The truth is complicated, messy, and I'm no innocent victim. But I'm not the monster they think I am either. I've always balanced charm and ruthlessness, compassion and violence. But now the scales are tipping. And if I can't control the narrative, my past deeds are going to bury me.
like I said, the books, as we go along, we're getting even more and more into psychos. And these next few books, the last 2 or 3, I think it is, they get worse and worse until they get to the very last one. Full on psycho. He hides it well, but no redeeming qualities really. Axe by Donald E. Westlake. And if you've never heard of this author, I highly recommend you check out his books. He's got, I don't know, 2, 3 dozen books similar to this one in a way. Definitely worth checking out. Just go to the library and fill up your basket with every single book he's written. Phenomenal. This might actually be my favorite book on this list. Maybe. I'm thinking maybe either this one or the next one that I like the best.
They say everyone has their breaking point. I found mine after 18 months without work. For years, I ran my department at the paper company quietly and efficiently, until downsizing pushed me out. 18 months of unemployment later, my patience is gone, my savings are drained, and the bills keep piling up. Turns out no one wants to hire Burke DeVore. So I made a plan.
7 people stand between me and the job I deserve.
7 rivals blocking my way back to stability, dignity, and self-respect. I'm taking them out, one by one. It's not personal. It's survival. At least, that's what I tell myself. But every kill gets easier. The fear fades, replaced by something darker, something colder, something that's always been there, buried deep, waiting patiently for the right moment. Maybe I was never the respectable manager I pretended to be. Maybe I was always meant to be something else, something deadly.
This is one of these books that makes you think, has this ever really happened? But you kind of see it happening in real life. Maybe you would never do it, and I would never do it. I can kind of see people, I can see this happening. Some desperate for a job, he finds one he thinks is really qualified for, but there's people in his way, people a little more qualified than him. So he starts taking them out. I can see it happening. Darkly Dreaming Dexter by Jeff Lindsay. Now we've come to the Dexter book. The series of books that the show is based on. There's 8 books in the series. I recommend all of them. And actually, in this part, I'm not going to tell you exactly about the book, because if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you've watched the series. Know pretty much how the setup is. So instead, for this one, I'm going to go over the differences between the book and the series, because there's a few. There's one big difference from the series.
Here are 4 major differences between the Dexter novels and the series you saw on screen. Number 1, Dexter and Rita. In the show, Dexter starts dating Rita as a cover, but something unexpected happens. Real feelings begin to surface. He grows attached, not just to Rita, but to her kids as well. In the books, there's no emotional shift. Rita is a prop, pure and simple. a strategic mask to make Dexter look human.
So in the book, Rita really is just a cover. In the book, Dexter is even more of a psycho than he is in the show.
Number 2. Deborah Morgan. The TV version gives us a tough, sarcastic detective who spends multiple seasons in the dark about Dexter's true nature. In the books, she learns the truth by the end of the first novel. Instead of a slow burn, the reveal hits fast. And she's not just a cop. She's also a mother, raising her son Nicholas while wrestling with the horror of what her brother is.
Deborah finds out about him in the first book. Actually, I'm giving away plenty of spoilers here, aren't I? I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, I guess I should have gave a spoiler warning at the beginning of this section of this book. Yeah, spoilers. If you don't want to know anything about the books and you plan on reading the books, you might want to skip this one.
Number 3. Rita's fate and the kids. On screen, Rita's death at the hands of the Trinity Killer is one of the show's most shocking moments, with her children sent to live with their grandparents. In the novel, she dies too, but by a different killer, Robert Chase. And instead of being sent away, the children remain in Dexter's care.
And here we come to the biggest change. The biggest change in the book, in my opinion.
Number 4. The kids are monsters. The show portrays Rita's kids as emotionally wounded but innocent, symbols of hope and healing. The books don't hold back. The children, especially Cody, show signs of the same dark impulses Dexter fights to control. He sees it, accepts it, and starts training them in the code.
I really hope Jeff Lindsay continues the series, because in the next book, the next series of few books he writes, if he actually continues it, the kids are going to be psychos, or they're already psychos. But Dexter's teaching them the code, and apparently they're going to help him with his kills. Of course, if they do that, it'll be a good idea to jump ahead a few years, because I really wouldn't want to see a 10-year-old helping with a murder. Teenagers is not that great either, but it's better than a 10-year-old. So he does continue to be psyched to read it, as long as there's a jump ahead. The Killer Inside Me by Jim Thompson.
I've got something inside me. A sickness. It's been there since I was a kid. I learned early on how to hide it, how to act normal. My brother Mike took the fall when things went bad back then. I kept the mask. He got the punishment. But masks crack eventually, and mine started to slip the minute I met Joyce Lakeland. A prostitute, sure, but that's not what mattered. She lit a match I'd spent years trying not to strike. The urges came roaring back, and I gave in. Joyce? I beat her until her face was pulp. Elmer Conway? He died next. Rich kid, son of a local power player. I made it look messy, impulsive, something a jealous lover might do. But there was nothing impulsive about it. I planned it all, down to the second. And I kept going. Johnny Pappas trusted me. I used that. I staged his suicide like I was writing a script. He never saw it coming. Neither did Amy Stanton. She loved me, thought we had a future. I gave her the same end I gave the others. Quick, efficient, clean. I'm not killing for pleasure. I'm not even angry. I'm tying off loose ends. The way a man balances a checkbook. The way a butcher sharpens his knife. People keep asking, who could be doing this? They look right at me while they ask. The killer inside me is my confession, my story. I don't hide from what I am. I never have. I just smile, speak soft, and let the rest of you sleep while I clean up the mess. I'm Deputy Sheriff Lou Ford of Central City, Texas, and I'm exactly the kind of man your nightmares were trying to warn you about.